Did you know that by 2025, Gen Z will be making up 25% of the total workforce? So if you want to hire them successfully, you better button up your interviewing skills. Gen Z might need a different approach. After all, they're digital natives. They appreciate hard work, have a high standards for ethics, but also looking for collaborative work in an autonomous way. So therefore you need to start interviewing them in a different fashion. So here are some suggestions of questions you could ask. Number one, ask them the following. If you would win the lottery tomorrow and get $15 million in cash, what would you do with it? Because this question gives you a clue about why they're applying for a certain job. My generation and other generations probably would answer this question differently. Gen Z is looking for purpose. They want to change the world. They want to have an impact. So regardless if they make the money or not, they might still be wanting to join your company for that particular reason. So apart from the fact that you need to embrace tech, like making all the materials online and perhaps even doing an interview online, you need to ask the right questions and especially avoid those worn out questions like what are your strengths and weaknesses and where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Question number two, how does your ideal work environment look like? Who and what do you need and who and what you don't need in order to thrive? This question gives you a clue how they envision actually working at your company. Probably they come from a time where most of the studies or the first job was actually done remote because we were living in a COVID time, and it shaped how they think about work-life balance and a working environment. Question number three, it's about reverse mentoring. Ask the candidate something like, if you would join a company, what would you like to teach our leaders? This question taps into their creativity and you can learn and understand how they think about themselves and adding value to your company. Plus, tossing out such a question signals that you're open to change. Number four, jobs on the side. Probably you run into a Gen Z candidate that has a ton of things on their resume. Ask about what they've done, why, and which skills they picked up by doing that. Question number five, ask the question, what could we change or improve in our interviewing and hiring process? This gives the candidate an opportunity to speak, give you feedback, and reflect. Number six, if you were to work in a team, how would you make sure the team works well together? It's a great question to tap in their thinking about leadership because it gives you an idea how they envision what a boss does and what a leader does. And there are, of course, differences. And of course, number seven, super important work-life balance. So instead of asking them what they think about a work-life balance, ask a question like, what kind of advice would you give to a peer or a friend that is struggling with their work-life balance? Again, taps into their creativity, puts them, I would say, in a helpful role and not in a victim role, and it gives you a lot of clues on how they will actually go about dealing with their own work-life balance. Number eight, want to learn more? Ask the following question. If you could design your own dream job, what would it be and what would it look like? This gives you a ton of information. Lastly, number nine, a future-oriented question. So instead of asking them where they see themselves in 5 years' time, ask them where they see your company in 5 years' time and what your company should be doing in order to be successful going forward. So apply those 9 questions in your interviews and you will see it becomes a more joyful experience for both the candidate and perhaps also for you. I wish you good luck with finding the right candidate or candidates for your company. Look after yourself and look after each other.